A recipe for attitude. The first thing we want to talk about is emotions. We are emotional-based human beings. We get charged. We have our beliefs. When somebody cuts across those beliefs, we get emotional. We think about it. What does that do? That creates friction. So we have to look at our emotions when we go into relationships and where we're at in a particular point in time, and I'm going to cover that in just a minute as well. Beliefs. We were talking last night about beliefs. If you believe relationships are a pain in the ass, guess what? They're going to be a pain in the ass. If you believe dealing with a certain demographic is going to be difficult because you don't believe with their culture, then guess what? It's going to be difficult. It's going to come across in your body. It's going to come across in your actions, and the person's not going to want to do business with you. So you have to believe that people are fair, people are equal, and go into that and believe that you can succeed. Decisions. Our attitude is reflective of our decisions. So when we sit there and decide to do something, that's our choice. When we think about the decisions we have to make to get what we want, it reframes our attitude and how we look at situations. So when you're thinking about the decisions you're making, that's going to go back to how your attitude is formed. Very important. And obviously our experiences. Our experiences shape our attitude. What we're doing here today is going to shape how we look at the world tomorrow. Am I right? So if you have an awesome experience here, you're going to walk out the doors, you're going to be charged, you're going to be ready to grow the association, you're going to be ready to go out and tackle things because your frame of mind and the experiences that you've had have been positive. So I encourage you to keep doing these things because that way you can have those positive experiences. If you were just sitting at home watching the grass grow, guess what? Your experiences would be manifested in your attitude. You go to work on Monday. What'd you do? I watched the grass grow. Really? I watered the pavement. Oh, wow, that's great. No, I went to this amazing 3-day event and I learned a lot. And guess what? I know that I'm in charge of my life. And it's going to come across in my attitude. People are going to go, you know what? I didn't notice you before, but you know what? I like that person. I'm going to have that person a part of my team. Belief inspires reality. Simply said, think about that. What you believe in, what you believe to be true about yourself, will become your reality. I could go on and on and on about this, but I'm not going to because I only have an hour. But belief inspires reality. I encourage you guys to think about that. If you think that people are bad and situations are bad and it's never going to get any worse, and if you watch the TV news every single night, that's going to become your reality. You get more of what you focus on. Don't wrap your head with the remote. You get more of what you focus on. Whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. This is a quote I hold near and dear to me in everything I do every single day of my life. If I believe I can, and if I try, and I keep going, I will succeed. But if I believe, becoming a professional speaker is going to be, oh, it's terrible. Or becoming an author is going to be hard. Or doing this or moving up in my organization is going to be difficult. If I believe that, then I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to protect myself because I don't want to disappoint myself. So, words shape our behavior, our attitude. I'm just going to touch on a couple of them right now. I hear people say, I can't, I won't, I'll never. So many problems. I hope, I wish, if. You hear those? Do you say them to yourself? Yeah. I just did a challenge last week to my group on Facebook. I said, if you can go 1 week without saying something negative, or if you say something negative, put $1 aside. And if you say something negative, put $1 aside. And at the end of that week, take those dollars and give it to a person who's homeless and doesn't have anything to eat. Number one, you're going to realize how much you're negative. And number two, you're going to help out somebody in need, which is going to make you feel good. So when you're cognizant of what you're doing, then you start realizing, God, I'm so negative. Well, that makes your attitude negative. That makes your behavior negative. Who wants to be around that? Raised a bunch of money for some homeless people, and I thought it was awesome. So let's look at what we can say. I will. I'll try. What's the worst? I'll try to do it. I'll try to play piano. I'll try to get 10 more sales this month. I'll try. What's the worst that's going to happen? I may get 7, but if I didn't even try, I wouldn't even get 7. Now I'd complain about it, and I'd be negative, and the people wouldn't want to be around me. Perhaps. The power of perhaps. Holy moly. When you use the word perhaps in anything that you would have said negatively, the world opens up. People say, oh, I'll never be able to play piano, or I'll never be able to get a partner in my firm, or I'll never be able to get my son to quit doing this. And I say, just change that word to perhaps. Perhaps I can play piano if I schedule some time. Perhaps I'll make partner if I dedicate myself to learning some more about the profession. Perhaps my son will change if I learn to understand him better. Perhaps opens everything up. We confine ourselves with the words that we tell each other. We tell ourselves and we tell each other. Opportunities, for somebody that's cut off. Problems become opportunities. My staff loves walking into my office saying, Chris, I got an opportunity. And I sit there and go, okay, what you got, what you got? Well, the forklift just drove off the dock and so-and-so's head got pinched between the fork and the dock. And I'm like, no, that's a problem. That's not an opportunity. But when we start framing things as either being opportunities or problems, our attitude changes. You know, oh, I've got so many problems. I've got this, this, and that. No, you've got an opportunity to learn how you're going to overcome this, this, and that. Opportunities are positive. They become in your attitude, they come out in your behavior. And also this, I hope, I wish, I love it. I hope someday I can do this. I hope, I wish, I hope, I wish, if, when. Say when. When I get to this point in my life. When I build a website for my association, we will become more successful. When I find the right person to build it. When I put a date on the calendar, it will come alive. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. So start using when. Don't start using when, if, or if and hope and wish. We're only here for a very short time in this world. And it's important that we take every single day that we possibly can to make the most of it. There's no guarantee for tomorrow. You may not get next year I'm going to start my exercise plan. Or next year I'm going to start going to school. Do it now. Go for it. Life is to be lived. There's so many people that die with regrets every single day. And if they had it to do over again, they'd be, if I knew now what I knew then, if I knew then what I know now, everybody says that. What would they do? Do things differently. So, again, do it.